welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jazzy, and if you're a returning viewer, thanks for tuning in for today's video. In this video, I want to come on my channel and share with you guys how I install my lace frontal units. Now, this unit that I will be showing you guys how to install was sent to me from Dolago Hair, and this is what the hair came in. The packaging, it just looks like a really simple, sleek box, and this was a 613 blonde unit that I went ahead and customized. I went ahead and plucked some hairs around the frontal, and I also went ahead and colored and toned the hair. So in this video, I'm strictly going to be showing you guys how to install the lace frontal unit. So if this is something you struggle with, or if this is something you're interested in learning more about, make sure you guys stay tuned for my video. Before I go ahead and jump right into the video, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there. It would really warm my heart to have one more subscriber. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell so every time I upload a video, you won't miss out on any of my content. Alright, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. To install your lace frontal unit, you'll need a wig cap, preferably the color of your scalp, got to be glued styling gel and the black packaging, as well as the got to be glued spiking glue and the yellow packaging, an applicator brush, a pair of scissors, a hair clip, the unit you'll be installing, and a blow dryer. The first step is to figure out how you'll be wearing your real hair underneath the stocking cap. You can either braid your hair down or wrap it. Once you've figured that part out, you can go ahead and apply the stocking cap, making sure all of your hair, including your edges, are protected. For this video, the unit I'll be installing was sent to me from Dolago Hair, and I think it was constructed very nicely, if I must say. It has 4 clips as well as an adjustable strap to make sure the unit fits securely once applied. I first like to put the unit on and make sure the part is in the correct position, and then I brush the hair in the direction I'll be wearing it in. So for me, that's typically a middle part. Once you're satisfied with how the hair will lay, it's time to map out where you'll need to cut the lace and around your ears. So brushing the hair back away from your face will give you more control, and I like to clip the hair up once I have a good view of where the lace meets my ears. And once you have a good view, it's important to put the remainder hair out of your way so you don't cut any of the hair on purpose. To cut the lace, I first like to start in the middle and remove a small bit of the lace so my eyes can get a good view of what I'm cutting. And once I've removed the lace over my eyes, I can then go ahead and see where I'll need to cut around the ear. And I like to use my natural sideburn as a guideline. When I'm trimming the lace around my ears, I like to trim the lace directly on top of my ear. This way, once I take the unit off, I can clean up the line by removing more of the lace so it will fit perfectly without interfering with the adjustable band, because if you cut the band, the unit won't fit as snug and secure as it's supposed to be. Once I have a better view of where I should trim the lace around my ears, I then like to remove the remainder lace from the back of the unit where it can be considered the nape. And at this point, all of the lace has been removed from the unit, but there's still some trimming that has to be done towards the hairline just to make it look a little more realistic. Before you move forward, you want to make sure all of the hair is out of your face and pinned up. This way you'll have more control when you're applying the glue. As you can see, I have a bit of lace left to remove, but I first like to make sure my ears have been cut out and that they're very comfortable. This is a super important step because if you have lace around your ears, when you go to apply the unit, it won't stay in place because the lace will be lifting. So make sure you take your time around the ears. Once you feel the unit is secured around your ears, you can go ahead and start removing more of the excess lace around the hairline in a zigzag motion. Cutting the lace in a zigzag motion opposed to a straight line across will allow the unit to look more natural once you secure it down. After I've trimmed the lace, I then like to hold my sideburns down and see the placement of the unit and how it looks. This way I can decide if I need to trim more of the lace around the baby hairs. Once I feel comfortable enough that I can go ahead and move forward, I then like to use my foundation to tint the lace. And there's many ways you can tint the lace, but I personally like using foundation on my units, especially if I feel the hair has already been through enough during the coloring process. And this unit was colored 3 times, so I figured adding foundation to the lace would extend the life of the hair. And if you decide to add foundation to your lace, it's super important to remember a little goes a long way. You do not need a full pump of foundation, as you're just trying to camouflage the grids on the lace to match your hairline. Once you've applied the foundation to the lace, it's now time to go ahead and secure the unit down. I first like to go in with the Got to Be Glued in the black packaging, pushing back the unit so I have a good view on where the unit will lay so I can place the glue directly in that position. I apply my Got to Be Glued directly on the applicator brush and not to my fingers, so the natural oils my body produces don't interfere with the tackiness and the overall application process. I like to place a thin layer of the Got to Be Glued in the middle of my forehead first, distributing the product directly to the right and the left evenly, eventually making my way down to the sideburns. Once you've applied the glue, I then like to go in with my blow dryer to set the glue. This way, when you go back to apply the unit, the glue will be tacky and you won't have to sit around and wait for it to dry. Once the glue dries down a little, you want to go ahead and secure the unit to the area you applied the glue. I like to focus on the middle of my hairline first before I make sure the sideburns are secure. This is the most difficult step when you're applying your lace frontal, because if you don't hold the lace down long enough, it will lift up. And I like to use the bottom half of my applicator brush to make sure the lace is secured and that the glue has dried before I move on to secure the sideburns. To secure the sideburns, I like to use the Got to Be Glued spiking glue in the yellow packaging because I find this glue is more durable when holding down the sideburns opposed to the Got to Be Glued in the black packaging. So I place a small amount on each sideburn to make sure they stay in place, because if your sideburns are able to lift, then your entire unit will be able to lift. So once I applied the glue, I then go back over it with my blow dryer to set the glue in place and allow it to become tacky to hold the lace in place. Once I've glued down my sideburns, I then like to go over the entire hairline with a blow dryer and the bottom of my applicator brush just to make sure the lace is secured in place. Now that my unit is applied and it's secure, I then like to move on to the baby hairs. Making a small part close to the hairline, I like to go ahead and use these hairs to trim into baby hairs, and everyone does their baby hairs a little differently, so I like to recommend making your baby hairs the way you personally like them, and at this point you can go ahead and make them as long or as short as you like them. It's really up to you. Once you finesse your baby hairs to the position you like them to stay in, it's super important that you take a little of the got to be glued and the yellow packaging and put that down on top of the baby hairs so they won't move, and this will help them stay secure in place all day. I personally like to put the yellow got to be glued on my toothbrush and go ahead and finesse them in place this way. And when you're done with your baby hairs, if you still feel like the lace isn't close enough to your scalp as you would like it to be, you can then go ahead and apply some more foundation directly on top of the lace so the grids will blend better with your hairline. So that pretty much wraps up how to install your lace frontal. I hope you guys were able to learn a few tricks on how to lay your lace frontal down. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out here on YouTube, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.